How's it going, guys? I'm your host Jiale. Welcome back to a Singaporean Life, and for today's video we are not going to be talking about any more of those Covidiots, but rather we have another funny situation here once again in our sunny little island, and this has to do with one of the most popular buy-sell apps inside of Singapore right now, and that is Carousell. So Carousell has pretty much dominated the entire Singapore second-hand buying and selling market ever since it came out, like I don't know how many years back, like 7 or 8 years back. I'm an avid user of Carousell for a very long time. I provide commission services there, and at the same time I also do sell a lot of my stuff there that I do not want. I think it's a great website personally, but as many of you guys have known or have seen from the internet or through your own experience, if you're unfortunate enough to be on the receiving end, then yeah, there are some cancerous users on this app, and it just makes it not so pleasant to use overall. So today we'll be looking at one of them. Okay, so this video garnered quite a lot of attention ever since it came out, and there are two parts of the story. So the first part is really the part that blew up, and then there is the second part, which is the following, which was what happened, or rather the other side of the story that was shared by the so-called I'm not sure who is the victim here, but we'll go ahead and check it out and I'll give you guys my thoughts. So the story, or rather this entire thing, started off with this. Okay, so this guy, we just call him Guy A. Okay, he messaged this person, Guy B, if he had any interest in trading for something. Okay, so usually this is quite common, like because it is second-hand stuff most of the time. Sure, you can find brand new stuff on the website or on the app, sorry, but most of the time people are selling second-hand stuff, and for second-hand stuff usually people like to bargain. Okay, there are some douchebags who like to lowball either through the price or through the item itself. Okay, so this one I believe it's for some sneakers. Okay, you can see later on inside of the video the guy was literally carrying shoe boxes, and there is a picture of the entire convo without all of these things being cut out. So I'm not sure exactly what is the trade for, but it's a sneaker trade basically, and I don't know the value of these two sneakers because I am not a sneakerhead, so I honestly don't know if he was lowballing or not, but based on people's reactions, I do not think this was a lowball. So Guy A actually asked Guy B if you would like to trade for a different pair of sneakers, and Guy B just straight up replied, "Fuck your mom." Oh my gosh, that has to be the most primary school insult ever. Okay, actually I don't even know if primary school kids started scolding people's mothers at such a young age. I don't know, back in my day that was pretty serious, but I think kids nowadays, they are a lot more knowledgeable. I think they probably learn all this kind of stuff way earlier compared to my generation. Okay, so yeah, and then he said, "Go and die, you son of a bitch. I fucked your mom last night though, that is your payment." Now, I do not know why this guy is so freaking angry. Like literally, this guy just asked if he wanted to trade. Okay, maybe he made it clear in his post that he didn't want to trade and there was no negotiation, but that didn't seem to be the case because that point was not brought up at all. So it seemed like he was not clear in stating it, perhaps, and Guy A thought that, hey, maybe he could suggest to bring up a trade, which is perfectly reasonable, by the way. There is nothing wrong with suggesting a trade. Okay, so Guy B probably didn't like the terms of the trade and, you know, just started scolding his mother. I'm not sure why. If you don't like it, you can either one, choose to ignore it, or two, just reject it, you know, say no or something like that. Like no, 2 letters, that's it. That's what I usually do. Like I usually wouldn't go out and scold people unless they are very obviously trying to lowball me. Yes, I have scolded people before, not their mums though, but I have scolded people before for intentionally trying to lowball. Okay, so this, I don't think it seemed like a lowball. Okay, but this guy just got very riled up for some reason and started scolding his mom. Okay, for those of you guys who know me personally, then I don't want to be a hypocrite here. I have scolded plenty of people's moms before, but you know, I think between friends, friendly banter, I think it's fine. Don't cancel me for saying this, but yeah, I think friendly banter is fine, you know, especially when you go into the army, and this sort of thing is just very common. Like between friends, if you know each other, then this sort of talk, I think it's okay. You know, there's a mutual understanding between both people, but If it's some stranger that you don't know, then I don't see why you want to start off scolding his mom. That's kind of weird, okay? And yeah, maybe he was just in a super bad mood in that day, but I don't think that's an excuse for his behavior though. Let's continue to see what happens next, okay? So guy A then actually apparently guy A got pissed off too by that reply. He thought it was really rude, and guy A posed as a buyer for another item on guy B's account, I think, okay, and wanted to meet up to buy the item, posing as another buyer. Okay, so guy B, not knowing anything, readily agreed, and let's check out this video of their meeting right here. So there's two parts to the video. I'm going to go ahead and play through both parts.
Fuck my mother. You fuck my mother.
No.
Huh?
No.
Come, you follow me.
Why?
You follow me.
Why don't you?
You are very what?
Can you don't blame me? I'm very
You
sorry.
are very what?
I'm very sorry for
So
what
you
I
fuck
did.
whose mother?
No one.
If you never fuck my mother, you fuck whose mother then?
No one.
Huh?
No, I'm very sorry.
Yeah, you better be fucking
I'm
sorry. I
very
slap
sorry.
you one time here at Chao Chi Ba.
Oh boy, that did not work out well for guy B. Oof. I just want to say, if you have the guts to put that out there, then you better have the guts to back your own words. You know, don't like, you can see his balls just shrink, man. Like, they just shrink up the moment he got confronted. And from the looks of it, he looks like your typical YP keyboard warrior, you know. Typical young punk, don't know anything about society, just going out there scolding people for fun, and when they get confronted about it, their balls just shrink up. That's just the way it is, man. Like, if you have the balls to say something like that, then be prepared to back up your words. Be prepared to fight back, man, because I have no respect for pussies that, you know, back down from a fight. Like, if you have the guts to say that, then have the guts to back it up. Have the guts to not prove it, but, you know, stand by what you said. Don't be afraid, you know, don't back down. If you want to say something like that, make sure, you know, you can walk the talk. Alright, so now let's look at part 2. So after the entire part 1 thing, everyone was very supportive of what guy B did, and honestly, I don't know how to feel about this. Like, personally, would I pose as a buyer just to go down and not humiliate the guy, threaten to slap the guy? No. Would I pose as a buyer to waste the guy's time by making him go somewhere while I'm shaking my leg at home? Yes, because I have done it before to people who have wasted my time, to people who have flew aeroplane on me, to people who have lowballed me. Yes, Carousell is that cancerous of a place. So I have done it to people before, but I have not gone to the extent of meeting them down, meeting them just to scold them or whatnot. But yes, I have posed using a second account to go and you know, waste back people's time, because, you know, it's karma. It goes both ways. If you want to waste my time, then be prepared to get your time wasted as well. That's just how the world works, right? Okay, so now part 2. You can see this lengthy message apparently from guy B that he typed out in WhatsApp. I'm not sure who this message was sent to, but yeah, you guys can go ahead and read through this yourself. Basically, he's saying he's sorry and whatnot, and there was no excuse. He was basically, he's also saying that the other guy was also at fault when he threatened to upload the videos on social media and forcing him to do unpleasant things, and the second part was basically him trying to shift the blame onto guy A. So let's get this right first, okay? 2 wrongs don't make a right, but at the same time, you pretty much you stirred the pot, so you're the one asking for trouble, man, and when trouble comes knocking on your door, you don't back away from it, dude, okay? And here we have some more screenshots of the other messages that was not reviewed in part 1, okay? And yeah, it's basically just guy A posing as a buyer, as a fake buyer to lure out guy B, okay? And guy B, not knowing any better, really readily agreed. Okay, and now here we have more messages of guy A trying to justify his actions and basically warning guy B not to pull something like that again, because it might not end that well for him next time. And you know what's the funniest thing at the end of this? Guy A actually wanted guy B to apologize and call him daddy at the same time. Kind of weird. That came out of nowhere. Like, I can understand if you want an apology. That's totally justifiable. But that daddy part though, why? Does it turn people on? Does so many people have a daddy fetish? Really? Really? Okay, but yeah, that came out kind of weird. Like, the apology and all that, perfectly reasonable. But when you threw in that one word, daddy, that's when everything just started going downhill for guy A, man. Oh my gosh. Okay, so when guy B apologized, he did not add in the daddy, and guy A was insistent that you're missing something, buddy. Okay, so you either tell me what I want to hear, or you can go ahead and get famous, and he's going to post this on his social media. So all of the original postings have already been taken down, and this is obviously a repost by someone else, because when you post something online, it's pretty much on there permanently. So be prepared to have it up there. Okay, so whatever you want to post online, make sure you don't regret it, alright? And that is basically the end of this entire saga for now, okay, unless there is a part 3 coming up, I don't know. Alright, so how do I feel about all this? I do feel that guy B sort of deserved what he got, okay, the confrontation and all that, he deserved it. But guy A, on the other hand, I think he was a little bit too bo liao also lah, let's be honest. Come on, man, will you travel all the way down just to fuck with some guy who called you names on the internet? Come on, unless you just have a lot of free time. Maybe you do, because it's COVID now, you can't really go out and do stuff, so why not go out and fuck around with other people, right? Like, you fuck with me online, let's meet up and I'll fuck with you in real life, right? I guess that's just how it is. And guy A, if you had just kept your kinks and weird fetishes to yourself, everything would have ended quite well for you, actually. I do not know why there was a need for the daddy part, but I guess it's too late to retract that now, so yeah. Anyways, I still, at the end of the day, I do feel that Carousell is still a really good buying and selling app. Okay, and in my years of using the app, to be very honest, I've encountered like what? Like only 1 or 2 people who tried to waste my time like that. I haven't really encountered anyone who just scolded me right off the bat. Yeah, but all in all, I still do think it's a good app to use, especially if you don't mind second-handed stuff, you're looking for the best deals. By the way, the cheapest stuff you can find it on Carousell. It beats the prices on Shopee, Lazada, whatever other shopping apps there are out there. You know, Carousell straight up has the best prices if you don't mind goods that are not completely brand new. Okay, so I would say don't be put off by these kind of few mean people on Carousell. It's still a great app to use if you know. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit, some tips for using Carousell, okay, in my years of experience, okay, as both a buyer and a seller when using the Carousell app. Tip number 1, if someone lowballs you, just ignore or block them. Like, there's really no need to go ahead and do all these kind of things. If they wasted your time by flying you aeroplane, then just go fly aeroplane on them. Like, there's no need to personally go down and confront them unless you just have a lot of free times on your hand, okay? Tip number 2, if you offered someone something and the person rejected you, and the next day you saw that, or maybe not even the next day, like within the next 24 hours, if you see that someone else took a sudden interest in one of your listings, is readily agreeable to all of the terms and conditions, like the meetup place, the meetup timing, as well as the pricing of your item. And also, especially if the account is a new account, then be wary, because chances are it might be that other person trying to fuck with you, okay, the person who rejected you because he didn't like your offer. There are people who do that, and I have encountered people who have tried to do that on me before, but you know, it didn't work cause gotta use a little bit of brains there, okay? So these are 2 telltale signs. First of which is if the account was created recently, and the second of which is if the person is too readily agreeable to all of your terms and conditions, especially after you recently got rejected for like a trade or like a like for example you're trying to offer a lower price, but of course if you are the one going out there lowballing, then you deserve it lah. Okay, what else can I say? So that's all I have for you guys for today's video. If you guys like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more of such future content. Or not, slap you one time, 超级